Hello, creators and creatives and whomever else joins me here on my daily creative hero's journey tarot. So I am really excited that you're back. So we're reading for, I realized I did not say last time. So we're reading for March 21st. So we started yesterday, March 20th on a Sunday. Why not? So we're going to dive right into it. I'm really grateful that you're back. And if you do like what you're seeing here, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. It would help me. It would also, and I've experienced this firsthand where it kind of connects you to the reader. So if you're looking for messages specific to you, or if you're looking for things to come through in this, do like, share, and subscribe, because it does help. It does help. And, you know, from a content creator perspective, it means growth, right? So that's always fun to see, and it helps me help you. So before we dive right into the reading, I would like to first invite the angels, my spirit guides, my guardian angels, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space. And I ask that it is a safe space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, and healing. Oh, so good. Okay. So I'm going to start with the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle, because of course I am. Spirit, can you please give me some messages to kick off the reading for my daily creatives in this collective here for March 21st, please, and thank you. So much appreciated, Spirit. Thank you. And also, happy first day of spring, my friends. I'm quite excited for spring. I have Aries and Mars, and the astrological new year starts too. So this is very, you know, I feel like I'm, there's always a sense of me wanting to just run through, you know, a field roaring, like I'm just in touch with my inner fire at this time of year, which I mean, you can do. I wouldn't recommend it. You might freak out the neighbors, but sometimes that's half the fun, right? So, so happy almost astrological new year. Whoa. Okay. So speaking of fire, me time, enjoy your own company. Indeed. Flip it upside down, question your beliefs. And for this you were born. Foster your intention for incarnating in this dimension. If that's not a purpose and path card, I don't know what is. So this card was the me time card. Okay. And this was the flip it upside down, question your beliefs. And for this you were born. Foster your intention for incarnating in this dimension. Oh, these cards are so beautiful, you know? I feel very grateful to have them and to be reading from them. So we are going to dive right in, shall we? So I'm going to use, so this is the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle by Kelly Sullivan Walden, and the artwork is by Rasuli. And then to do the spread itself, I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. Equally beautiful deck, and equally, well, I love how this deck reflects modern life, right? Like, I like that, and modern life meaning, that's a loaded statement. So let me just unpack that for a minute. It reflects the world that we live in and the diversity of people and types of relationships that we're all in together on this planet. So I quite like that. So this is the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. So Spirit, can you please clarify and give my wonderful collective here for their daily creative Hero's Journey Tarot reading, what messages they need to know as they go through and wherever they are in this journey, be it in their world before the call, upon receiving the call, when they find their teacher, as they go through challenges, when they face the final test, when they uncover the treasure within, once they return home and then reflect on what they've learned. Wherever they are in that journey, please give me some guidance for my collective here. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay. Dang. You got some cups, my friends. I don't know why I said it like that, but it's fine. We'll go with it. Yeah. So your ordinary world, you're the star. So I could be talking to an Aquarius. What up, Aquat gang? That's, but this is a great place. This is your ordinary world. So you're starting from a place of healing. You're starting from a place of wholeness. You know, there's a sense of wonder in this particular card as well. Yeah, it's quite a beautiful card. And so, as I've said in other videos, but I'll say it again here. So each card in the major arcana has a reflection in the minor arcana. What I really like about seeing the star here is that it has quite a few different iterations in the minor arcana, and one of them is the Ace of Cups. So I like that there's sort of a progression. So you're starting at the star, and then you're returning to, you're going through your journey and then back to a place that is also connected to this sense of healing. So I like that. So buckle up, friends. We're going to dive right into this here. So you're where you are now, you're the star, right? You're at a place of healing. And that could be this sense of me time, right? It could be this sense of me time that you've taken or that you're taking. There we go. But what I'm getting to here as well, I'm seeing almost as though if you were to look at this card, and then if you were to pull a vignette and go deeper into this, this perspective, so flip it upside down, question your beliefs. And then if you were to go into here, it's almost as though that would be in here. And this is sort of your 5D self and your 3D self in communication. And that this isn't, that this is technically the Aquarius card. That's a lot of thought processes. It's sort of swords energy, right? So I'm almost getting that there's a conversation that's happening where you're getting wisdom. So it could be that you are, sort of, the way I'm looking at it is like packing your astral bags in the best way possible, like for an exciting journey ahead. There's information that you're gathering and that you're knowing or coming to know, and that, you know, for this you were born. So for this you were born. Now, in the call to adventure, this could be love. You have Two of Cups again. So that happened. You got the Two of Cups yesterday, I think, as well. So the Two of Cups is here again. So this is really either a call to incredible passion or love itself. It could be a relationship. It could be, you know, starting a project that you're really, really loving. This is absolutely beautiful energy. Now, the teacher here, teacher is in the Hermit sense, you know, like the Hermit, I guess, or mentor, it could be as well. But general guidance too. You have the moon in this position. So it could be that this has to do with things that you let go of and released at the full moon, and that they are returning to you as teachers. Or what I'm also getting is that there are things about the things that, there are things about the things. How about that? It's all technical terms here today, friends. There are aspects of the things that you may have released at the full moon, or intentions that you set that you are bringing to life for yourself, or that are coming to life for you, coming to light as well. The things that you don't know or that you can't see right now are going to end up being some of your greatest teachers, is what I'm coming to understand on this journey. This is also Pisces energy. So we are at the end of Pisces season. So it could also be a call to think about all the things that you learned during Pisces season, after the new moon up to the Virgo full moon. You know, that was a very dreamy time. I have a couple Pisces placements in my chart, one of them being in Jupiter and also Neptune. So I was feeling a little bit, I've said this before, like the entire freaking house in Up at times, because it can carry you away, right? So there's a lot of dreamy and mysterious energy to it. So I think that what may have been hidden from you is becoming much clearer now. And I think as well, with Mars and Venus going conjunct in Capricorn and then Aquarius, there's also a lot of that cerebral energy. But it also, because I have so much Aquarius in my chart, I have a stellium, it would be, you know, it could be that it was like, okay, I'm getting it, right? So there could be a lot that you're understanding now, and that's contributing to this journey that you're taking, and that's an important teacher for you to pay attention to, is the things that you've learned related to a sense of passion, to romance, to love, and the ways that you have reached the point where you are in the present moment as a very healed and fully whole human being. Could be some starseed energy in there too. But the challenges, so the challenges encompassing different, you know, tests in the everyday, allies, guides, and some really intense challenges. for you. So in terms of the test, there's the Queen of Cups, which your emotions may be the test here, friends. This could be a test of your emotions. It could be a test of your connection to your emotions and how effectively you're transmuting them. How aware of them are you? How willing are you to express them and to emote and to really be in touch internally with what's happening, right? So that can be one of your tests, given that there's the Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Star. I mean, it's not unfathomable that those would be lessons together. It's not gonna focus. Anyways, it's not unfathomable. There's a lot of Cups energy here, and with the Moon representing a kind of, to me, the Moon, so if we were to look at yeah, there's not that, no. So, I mean, the Moon is, I see it also as a bit of Cancer energy as well. And there's I guess like a duality that you're balancing. There's a duality that you're balancing here, given the Two of Cups. And I'm looking at the two, there we go. The light and dark wolves on the edges by the Moon, right? I just saw 11:11 on the time. But I'm seeing that there's dualities that you're starting to balance. And you're really, the Star tells me that there's a sense of union that you're coming into, either within yourself, well, yeah, within yourself, really. And so what is also showing up here in terms of companions and allies is Five of Pentacles, which I find really interesting. So this tells me that there's a sense of loss that is becoming a really, that it could have given you a sense of familiarity. You know, like what you became most familiar with was right in here. So this is sort of like a comfort zone, right? This became your ally on the journey before because you were so used to being left out in the cold. So, you know, being connected to your emotions and really staying in touch with that is difficult in a way I could understand, because you're not really sure about fully letting go. So if you were to let go emotionally, is there going to be a sense of balance? And is there, and you know, it's interesting that Justice showed up here because yesterday's reading, it showed up in the clarifying part over here, right? So in those clarifying cards, so Justice shows up again. That is the universe kind of saying, I said what I said, my friend. And so I think that this is the, for this to be in the major challenge, I think that it could be that you're, you know, be careful what you wish for could be one of them, although to me that always sounded like a huge threat. But I think that it's a sense of knowing what you want and that it's okay for you. It's okay if you felt left out in the cold, but don't let that be the thing that closes you off. Don't let that be the thing that shuts the door on things like love and passion and excitement and fun. Because it really doesn't serve you. It does you a great injustice. It does you a great injustice to do that. And the fact that Justice is here, I tend to read uprights more than reversals, not because I feel like reversals are scary at all, but I get more from the uprights than I do the reversals. And I always, because I read intuitively, if it shows up in a reverse energy, even though it's upright, I will say it, right? And that's why I keep reading it like this. Like I keep reading this Justice one as a reversal, right? And it's very interesting to me that there are cups that look, well, they look like cups, even though they're supposed to be scales on this card. So I think that there's a sense of injustice that you really need to move through. And the test is going to be sort of a test of your, not your endurance, because that's really not, that's not it. It's really a test of your ability to be connected with your emotions and perhaps your intuition as well, right? Your intuition regarding things that you can't see yet, things that you cannot see, things that are not clear to you, but that you may be feeling. You know, the Two of Cups is like big passion energy. I mean, it's not necessarily fiery energy, but there's, if you're thinking about the most passionate expression for cups, I think about Two of Cups, because that's really, look, there's so much that can be created from it, right? There's so much in it. And I think about what just came to mind was the fact that if you have if you shine a light through one of those prisms, a rainbow comes through. And what really I'm seeing here is that there's like a sort of a sense of completion, but not from a 10 perspective, a sense of completion that you're now beginning again with. So this is also the answering the call card, you know. So it could be that there's something that you're embarking upon that is calling you to be more passionate, but these beliefs really got to go, right? This isn't a sword minor arcana, but the presence of the sword has me almost, I think I might mispronounce this, but Damocles' sword. The backstory, so this is a parable of Cicero's, or Cicero, however you pronounce it, however you choose to, where there was a king that was very paranoid about his wealth and his riches, and he was such that he only let his daughters shave his beard with a razor because he did not trust that others would not try to kill him and steal his wealth. So very anxious, very paranoid, very survival scarcity mindset, right? And so he, there was somebody sort of like a bit of a sweet talker that I guess saw him at a party, as I understand the parable, and he had given the king sufficient flattery that the king brought him back to, this person said, I wish that I had your fortune. Look at your good fortune. It's amazing. Look at it. It's so incredible. All of the things that you have. So the king said, come back to my palace. And he had him come back to his palace and set him down. So had him sit down on a golden couch. And so goes the parable that he got to eat all of these things that were just considered luxuries. He got to experience these wonderful riches of, what he thought was the penultimate in royal living, right? Luxuriating in foods that would be not eaten in a year for some folks, and for commoners, certainly not. And when this person was sitting on the couch and looked up. So he looked up at the ceiling, and dangling from the ceiling by a horsehair was a sword. And it was hanging over his head while he was sitting on this couch enjoying these riches. And so the story goes, the sword did not fall, but that person was not able to enjoy what was around him and in front of him because he was terrified of this sword falling on his head. He was terrified of that. And who wouldn't be? A giant, like a huge sword that is razor sharp, being hung up and held together by a freaking horsehair, super thin horsehair, right? So not that much protection from things. And then, he said, you know what? I'm good. Turns out I had enough fortunes as well. 1717 on the time. I have fortunes enough. I have fortunes aplenty. You have a good day, sir. And so the reality here is a very Five of Pentacles energy where you can be in a castle. You can have all of the things that you want. You can experience like healing. That's where you can start from. But if your mind isn't right about it and you're very worried about it, you will really only be able to show up in justice in reverse because you'll feel like it's an injustice just to have it. So what could be, and maybe that's what people mean when they say, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. I've not understood that. I mean, I get it, but I don't as well, because I feel like if you're asking for it, it's not necessarily about, there's aligning with it, but if you don't align with it, how can it show up, right? So anyways, that's the story of Damocles. I'm probably butchering the name, but it's fine. Damocles' sword. And I got the sword vibe. What came to mind was this justice card, right? So maybe you're feeling like the sense of justice is that you just want to enjoy. You want to enjoy yourself. You want to enjoy this time for yourself in peace, right? You want that peace, and it feels elusive. But there's something to remember, and that is that this isn't something that is happening to you. It's happening for you. And that sounds so cheesy sometimes, because then you're like, well, what about the really bad stuff? Trust me, I've been there. I have absolutely been there. I don't talk about it much because it doesn't have much bearing in my life right now. I've done the healing work, and I find that it's not always productive to talk about. But in 2007, I was nearly murdered. So when we talk about moving through things and healing, I've done that work, friends. I know how injustice can come colliding into your life. And I'm fine now. There's no reason to be fearful in my life as it stands right now, but that is something that happened to me, right? So when I say things happen for you, not to you, I can say it because I've actually been there and done the work as well. So I want to leave you with that. I know I'm making this reading a lot longer, but when this Justice card came up with the Five of Pentacles, I really just wanted to say, whatever you're going through, keep in mind that you're starting from a place of healing here on this journey. And that could be today, it could be this week, it could be this month, it could be something that this could jump out at you later. And it could be something that that resonates at another time. but these are a good mix of major arcana and minor arcana. So I think that it's kind of a blend of the big themes and the big stuff in the everyday. So that's something important to keep in mind too. So then as we go into this big, so that I think the big, I want to say crescendo moment, the climax moment, is I guess it's called the ordeal, I suppose. The drama, is showing up as the Queen of Pentacles. And that's about you feeling confident. That's about you, knowing your worth, knowing your value, knowing what you want, and having, I guess, accumulated a specific amount of resources to mobilize towards that, and feeling an immense amount of peace about the work that you've done. You know, this is nothing wagered, nothing gained. I don't know why that came to mind, but I mean, I'm not encouraging gambling, because that can be a really bad habit to get into. And not just gambling as in I'm going to go to the casino and do that, but gambling as in taking chances that have, you know, there's not the best outcomes that are coming from it. It's just, gambling can come in many different forms, but this is really just sort of knowing your value and your worth, and not just sticking to it, but operating from a place of confidence within it, right? So it's keeping this in mind. So if this is your challenge, if this is your big, if this is what you need to move through on your hero's journey today or this week, that's actually really good, because it's within you, right? So what's within you is something that you can change. So this isn't world events. This isn't stuff that's outside of you. This is something that is absolutely within your power. Now the Eight of Pentacles is showing up in the treasure, and I guess like the richest found position. So I think what you're learning is that there's power in sticking with something, in dedication to something. And this could be just dedication to you, right? Like I'm not talking about in a, you know, conceited sense, but the reason why I say that is the presence of the me time and the furthest you were born. So the furthest you were born and me time, and also the flip it upside down. So what I get from these is that perhaps you were told early on, and, you know, I mean, I'm trans, so I did spend a part of my life in this position as well, where, you know, young girls are told in particular, and that's not how I identify now. So, but young girls are told to give of themselves unceasingly and unendingly in service to others. And there's almost this socialization process that takes place where that's where you get your value from, right? Is being likable, being agreeable, being a people pleaser. Because if you are that, then you aren't in conflict with anyone, because your needs are this big, right? So your needs are so small, and you shrink in your life, and then you become a freaking ghost. You become a ghost to other people because you're totally invisible, and you just get so used to people not meeting your needs that you disappear. And it's not that you disappear because you don't want your needs to be met or because you are disappearing them, but because the habits that you've taken up are ones that do not put you at the center of being able to articulate those needs and say, hey, you know what? I really need X, Y, and Z thing. And it's not that you have to give those things to me, but I would really like it if you could at least do one thing in, you know, in this constellation of needs that I have. And it's also important to recognize too that you need to meet your own needs as well. This isn't just about asking other people to meet your needs, right? You show up whole and complete, if not a little unfocused. Whole and complete. You show up whole and complete to projects, to, you know, I think of to projects, to relationships, to whatever it is that, you know, lights you up inside, and lights you up inside from the heart. I feel like this is more heart chakra type activation. You show up whole and complete to that. So there is something to be said for working in service to other people, but the presence of the other cards here, it's almost like there's an undoing of some mental constructs. And the Justice card tells me that that's something that may have been long-standing, that's being kind of remedied and fixed right now. And fixed not because it's particularly broken. So the minor arcana version of Justice is the Two of Swords. So I think that there's something that you need to see perhaps in the everyday. There's something in the everyday. There's something about the everyday that you need to stop being willfully unaware of. You know, we can be super unconscious to something that we actually really want, but because of what we will need to do to rearrange our lives around that thing, we refuse to be aware of it. We refuse to be awake to it. You know, I think about it I've had some friends whose partners do not do things like there's equal share of housework, and they keep, you know, forgetting things and then saying, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I didn't, you know, I couldn't remember. Well, how many times does someone have to say something before you start remembering, right? How many times does someone have to ask for something before you start remembering? And that's not me saying that to you, but that's how you might be feeling to other people. Like, how many times do you have to say that something's important? How many times do you have to articulate your needs before somebody becomes aware of it? And that may be this sense of feeling left out in the cold, right? This could be at work. This could be friendships. This could be whatever, right? And I've been in positions too where I've stepped away from relationships, because I kept asking myself, okay, like, how long am I going to let myself be a ghost in my relationship? How long am I just going to be okay with being the phantom that, you know, rattles pipes when they have a specific need, even though you ask for it and you might articulate it and say it. All of this does, so all of that energy is not just encapsulated in the Five of Pentacles, it also keeps you way off path. It keeps you way off path because your energy is going into just getting the basics of your needs met. You know, there's a Lauryn Hill lyric that says respect is the bare minimum. And I think that is very important to carry with you. So I mean, take it with you. But I think that for this you were born. How can you realize dreams and be on your path if you're so caught up in this everyday energy, where you're reaching for things and you're hoping for justice? You know, there's a lot that you can't see already. And that's just normal life unfolding, right? And don't hide your emotions. Don't hide your emotions about it. Be very clear. You don't have to go out and shout it from the rooftops. The moment that you get clear about what you want and need, everybody else gets clear too. Why? Because then you can articulate it to other friggin' people. You can tell them what matters most to you. And the blue here, I'm thinking about throat chakra. And when we think of the chakras, we think about the sort of the front of them, right? So the front of them is what we associate with the front of the body, but that's often the projection outward of that energy. So the back of the chakras are actually where we take in energy. So as we articulate our truth, something to think about as well is what understanding you're taking in. And the understanding that you're taking in can be from energy that's mobilized from the lower chakras upward. So if there are blockages, it's going to be really hard for energy to flow through a chakra where you're articulating your truth and where you're seeing things. So flip it upside down, question your beliefs, right? The throat chakra isn't just about articulating truths. The throat chakra is also about understanding. It's about comprehension. It works in tandem with the third eye and crown chakra and eighth chakra and beyond to pull information down and awareness, understanding, intuition. But it also pulls energy up that, you know, truths about your security, your stability, your right to pleasure, like all of that stuff. And then what to do with it. This solar plexus energy, I'm almost getting that with this here, right? Solar plexus with some heart and throat chakra mixed in, some healing there. Flip it upside down. You do not have to ask and ask and ask. It is okay for you to just sink into a state of love and to take in love and to take in passion for things and to have significant emotions, to want your cup to run over. The reason why, I'll get to that in a minute, but so on the road back, you have a Knight of Pentacles. So it could be on the journey back from this awareness, from this internal journey that you're taking, from this project that you're working on. There is somebody with an offer. This could also just be you. You know, I think about, I've seen signs that say sprinkle kindness like confetti. And I almost feel like that's very Knight of Pentacles energy in this card, where you're just, this could be just you, right? This could be you on the heels of the intentions you've set on the Virgo full moon, where you have been in your earth and you have been in your earth energy. And this is the 6th house as well. So Virgo rules the 6th house, which is kind of the everyday stuff. I think of it in that term anyway. So this could just be you working through things in the everyday and knowing what has value. What are your seeds to plant and what are the things that are other people's to plant? What belongs to you? What belongs to other people? And it's not that you're losing energy. You're actually planting energy. This is amazing stuff. Like, this is not you leaving things behind. This is you knowing what you can carry, right? There's you can't really see it, but there's a kind of a pentacle in his hand, right? Just tucked right in there. So he has a pentacle in his hand. So he knows what to carry and what to let go of. And I think that's a really beautiful state of balance as you're taking this journey back to yourself, back from a project, or into a project. If part of your journey with this daily, with this hero's journey spread and your daily, I guess, journey through things, it's you perhaps also knowing what to invest in, right? Because this was part of your the riches and the treasure that you gained from conflict and the challenges that you faced. So we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Whoops, if I can hang on to them. So it's really about knowing what was yours to work on and to, work with to begin with. So this is also, I guess, kind of calling back your energy too, right? And this is sort of the ultimate, like if I think of a creative and a creator card, this is very much like I'm getting a lot of magician energy, though I know that, the magician doesn't have a direct reflection in the minor arcana because it rules the minor arcana, technically speaking, because it has all the elements of it in it. But if there were a reflection of that, this is sort of doing the work of manifesting, right? When opportunities come, manifestations don't just plop into our laps. It's also about us putting work in. So when we talk about hero's journeys and creative projects and love and relationships, it's about putting the work in. And if this is kind of among the riches that you take back is putting the work in, and there's a sense of confidence and peace and value and knowing what you want, all of that will have been well worth it. And that allows you to move and to gain momentum forward. And again, this could be a person coming in. Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving energy. So very steady person who also knows what they want, which is, who doesn't want that, right? Consistency and stability, not the same thing. But in this, they come together, right? I'll say it again. Consistency and stability are not the same thing. Consistency, you can have a person who is consistent in their inconsistencies. You can have a person who is consistent in behavior. You can have, things, you come to rely on the ways that people are not stable. But do you want that? Is that what you want to invest in? Probably not. I know I don't, because that sounds exhausting. So I think that what's important with this Knight of Pentacles is to pull back for a hot minute. And on this kind of reflection. So I think of the journey back home after, the hero's journey, you're on this journey, you're headed back to the Shire, right? You're headed back to the Shire. And what are the things that you're reflecting on? And I think this could be a sense of releasing around the Virgo full moon too. And just releasing intention and planting seeds, and you're aware of what you want, and then you land in this beautiful position. So once you're back, so I keep using the Shire example, but once you're back there and you're in the world that you left behind, and now you have all of these things from this new world that you took part in, and there's this beautiful Ace of Cups energy. So it's sort of a very unification energy, a coming together energy. It's a really, to me, it's a beautiful energy. So I think that I want to say that there is love on the table here. There is love for the taking. I'm getting soulmate energy. Soulmates come in many different shapes and forms. But I think the thing to keep in mind here is that there's something tied up in mission and work that you're doing, either for yourself. So 3333 just came up on the time. There's something about the work that you're doing, either drawing someone in or towards you. Or it could be also that you're realizing that you are your own best soulmate. And that sounds so cheesy. I know it sounds ridiculous. After my marriage ended, I married myself, which sounds really, I found that I gave love to so many different people, and part of my healing journey of that and recognizing that pattern was, I got a ring, and I don't remember which is your ring finger, but the one that is not your wedding ring finger, I wore a ring on that to symbolize the love that I swore and promised myself that I would not forget to carry. There have been different healing journeys from that as well since that time, but it was very important. So it could be that you're on a similar path with this, and that part of your journey this week and in the coming weeks is related to really healing those patterns. And I could, I can't help but see the Eight of Pentacles as just like doing the work, right? You're doing the work. And for this to be part of the, I guess the really the big challenge and the big resolution, I think about these two cards as a healing of that. So Remember at the outset that, that you are whole and complete already, and that it is okay to flip the script on what you've been told about healing and what you've been told about things. And also, it might be a really good time to stick to some meditation or to get into a meditation practice, because sometimes the cards just speak to me this way, where they kind of combine, and like I get the vibe of this being like a 5D self communicating with you in 3D, that it's the star card is a really healing card. So there may be healing that will come through meditation, or messages that will come through meditation about this thing that you're born for, right? I know that I've had profound messages come through meditation, and just also being aware of synchronicities in the everyday, and not necessarily obsessing over them, or, like sitting over them like, oh, look at that one, that one, that one, that one. But just when they happen and you feel compelled to take note of them and whatnot, do so. Because sometimes I look back in my journals and I'm like, that was a really intense time. And then I think about it, and, and then it ended up being that I needed that sense of connection in order to pass through the next challenge on my path. So it could be a reminder to do that as well. So this paying attention to synchronicities and things that, understanding that on the path, there's going to be a lot that's hidden from you. That doesn't mean that you're on the wrong path. That doesn't mean that you're, there's a mistake that's taken place in your journey, or that you're misdirected, right? I'm also getting resist the urge to be impulsive in what you do. And also resist the urge to rush, because I'm not really seeing cards of like rushing forward here. I'm not seeing the Eight of Wands. I'm not seeing the Knight of Swords. I'm not seeing the Page of Swords, nor am I seeing the Knight of Wands. So the absence of these cards is telling me that it may be a good idea to take it easy on yourself, and to trust in some divine timing. I mean, the moon, it may mean that to some, but I see it in this context with all of these cards as there's an element of divine timing, and the inclination may be to rush towards feelings of passion and, to be very emotionally led. But the Queen of Cups is not someone who rushes into emotions because she has integrated them. She is healing. She has healed them, right? So it is operating from that place. So the other thing to keep in mind too, Queen of Cups has one cup and then you end. So when you have one foot in the old world and one foot in the other, you're returning as the Ace of Cups. So I think that there's a deep awareness around emotions. So give yourself time with that. Give yourself time with that. The Eight of Pentacles is not necessarily a timing card, but there's something to be said for releasing any need or urge to rush just because I can and want to. This is the Wisdom of the Oracle card by Colette Baron Reed. Spirit, can you please clarify this message from a wonderful collective here for the Daily Creative? Thank you so much, Spirit. Just some clarifying messages here. I'm still going to pull an affirmation and connection card, but I just felt compelled to clarify some of this here. Treasure Island. Interesting. You've got a lot of water cards, friends. Regeneration. Yeah, so I'm getting this idea of kind of Phoenix rising from the ash, but there's more of a, there's like a, it's almost like there's like a water energy in this fire, right? The growth on the tree. I know it's it's kind of pentacle energy, but regeneration. Yeah. I feel like there's something that you are rebuilding about yourself. The Queen of Pentacles tells me it could be something to do with confidence, knowing your worth and value, but also feeling comfortable and feeling okay about knowing that, right? Feeling comfortable knowing and being connected to your heart chakra and living from that place, because the regeneration is related to, I am intuiting the Five of Pentacles and Justice energy here. And Treasure Island came out as well, which is a beautiful card. I love it, love it, love it. Look at all those stars and hearts. It's a lovely card. And there's a ton of water energy there. And the 9 is the Hermit card. So there's definitely some wisdom to be had. There's definite wisdom afoot. And you are getting that wisdom. You are definitely getting that wisdom. So yeah, I'm actually really impressed with this spread. I really like it for you. I like the energy of it. I mean, it is a bit of a journey. It is a bit of a journey, but it's one that I think I'm hearing that you needed to take it to understand not just the next step on the path, but who you are taking that step. Because sometimes we get caught up in the what we want to focus on. And what we don't realize is that who we are approaching the next step can be just as important, right? Have we integrated lessons from the slower times in our life, the times that aren't requiring us to like buckle in and go at 100 miles an hour? What have we picked up from that time, right? I think about all the retrogrades last year, and they actually kicked my ass. They were really difficult for me. Not because of anything to do with the energy, but just that there was a lot of work that I hadn't done yet that I did through those retrogrades. And I mean, it shows up, right? Like it shows up in how you can approach opportunities and move forward now. And so I'm going to pull more clarifying cards here. So Spirit, this is the Miracles Now deck by Gabrielle Bernstein, which I love. I begin my day with love. Of course you would. Why wouldn't you? Of course you would. With this Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Star. Yeah. Treasure Island. Yeah. So maybe that's the me time that you're needing. Maybe the me time that you're needing here. So me time, enjoy your own company, is that you need to begin your day from a mindset that you have everything that you need inside of you to tackle that day. Yeah. You have everything inside of you. And it's okay to start your day with love, knowing that there will be challenges along the way, yes, but that it doesn't take away. Like there's no Four of Cups, there's no Five of Cups, right? There's a Five of Pentacles, but Justice is there. So like, is it actually going to be a thing for that long? Probably not. I'm getting the sense with the Star here too, that it's healing, regeneration, more healing. And 6 + 4, so it's a 46 card. 6 and 4 is 10, which is an end of cycles. You know, I'm feeling like it's something that is concluding. So I'm just going to pull more messages here. This is from the Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection deck by Mike Dooley. So here we go. So Spirit, okay. I mean, that was fast. Thanks. I love it when Spirit's like, nope, here you go, fast. Okay, so messages for you from the universe. So I go where you go. I love that color. Oh my gosh. Tell me, are you finding that the occasional stranger has a crush on you? That for words you've almost mindlessly chosen, hearts broken too long, begin to heal? That eyes sometimes well up with tears when it's time to say goodbye? Remarkable. Our findings exactly. Psst. Your divinity is showing. Hermit. That's beautiful. I go where you go. And what's coming to mind here is just that there's an ebb and a flow, right? There's an ebb and a flow to life, to everything that's going on in your favor. And just to lean into the ebb and flow. And another blue card here. So more throat chakra. Honor thyself. Just curious, when was the last time you looked in the mirror and addressed yourself as gorgeous, magnificent, or sublime? It matters. Here's looking at you, gorgeous. The universe. P.S. Okay. Hubba hubba counts. And I'm pulling these cards up because it's so on point for these messages. So I get a little excited. I get a little excitable. It could be many things in my chart, and I know this, but it's really all in service to you. So those are your messages for today. So for March 21st, happy first day of spring. Well, first, I guess like second day of spring, really. But yeah, this is great. So you've done a tremendous amount of healing, and I can't wait to see where the rest of the week will take you and me as a reader. So, all right, I will see you on the next one. Happy Monday. Take care.